Okay, here we go. So
I lost you.
in Colombia. Wait a minute. I'm on a satellite connection,
Okay.
so sometimes it will freeze.
Oh,
I'm not in New York City or something. I'm in
yeah.
the state of Maine.
Looks
Okay,
like you are in the countryside, right?
yeah. So let's start again. So Marika Favé, you are a guide, a mountain guide. And where are you based?
Campitello di Fassa, Dolomites.
How far from Marmolada is that?
12 kilometers, 8
Yeah,
miles,
right down the
seven,
road.
8 miles, 7 miles. Yeah.
So I'd love to just get a quick sense of how long you've been climbing in the area and, guiding people.
Well, I became a mountain guide in 2006 and I start climbing, beginning of of the, yeah, since I've been climbing for 25 years now and guiding for 16,
Mm.
16 years, something like that.
So let's start with the actual event.
I lost you. Hello.
Okay, it froze again. Just describe where you were and how you learned about it and what it felt like to have this happen.
Well, I was in 5 towers in Cortina area with clients climbing, and my nephew called me because he was worried since this year I didn't actually I was just 2 3 times on Marmolada, but last year I've been guiding a lot. So my nephew was concerned I was up on the glacier. So he's in the firefighter, so he knew that there was many people involved, so he was worried, and he reached me on telephone to be sure I was not there. And
Mm,
he told me about this, and at first I didn't really get the tragedy, the big thing that was going on.
mm,
And then clients and people start to text me, uh, also other colleagues from other part of Italy to check if I wasn't involved, because so far there are still people missing, and
right.
we still not sure who they were. So yeah, it's not
It's
close yet.
no, and even the cause will be examined further. Here, yesterday, the Alpine Adriatic Meteorological Society did indicate it's pretty clear that the June heat, all that heat in the region, and generally in recent years, has been creating more melting, more water. Water is a lubrication, and that,
Yeah.
as they say, water-filled crevasses are probably the main cause. Uh, Given what you've heard, tell us a little bit about the last 5 or 10 years on the mountains and your perception of change.
Yeah, you could see, of course, the level of the ice. Especially I really notice when you come down from, or when you go up from on the normal route, when you cross all the glacier and you go to the rock. I in the last 5 years they have to put more cables to go to on the rock, because the level of the glacier was going down, so there was more rock. And they put also an extra cable, I think 2 or 3 years ago. So already from there you could notice it. And then of course also the quality of the ice. I have to say that last year the situation was good, because we had a really nice winter with a lot of snow.
Mm.
the glacier had a nice snow cover till August. So also the crevasses were good covered. But yeah, this year, you know what, it makes a huge difference is the snow that arrive at the beginning of the winter, that can be alimentation for the ice, you know,
Hmm.
because like for example, we had a really dry winter, really dry, not so much snow. And we had snow in May, but that snow doesn't make anything, it's melting right away.
Right.
And yes, the yeah, you could notice from all the rock coming out. The year before there was no rock, and now you start to see rocks where there were not. Yeah,
Yeah. And the sense that there was more water there. Carlo,
yeah,
who works at the there's a hut there, right?
yeah,
And he took that
yeah.
amazing video. Had just posted a few days earlier on his Facebook page that the water. He said it was kind of sad to see that this is all deteriorating.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You could like
And
never
here,
like this year. You could see and hear the water running on the ice. I mean, when I was there last time, 5 or 6 days ago, you know, I we were working there doing some exercise, and you were wet already from the morning. Everything was wet, a lot of water running on the glacier, on the ice, a lot of water. Never seen so much water like this year.
mm,
So I would say every year was getting a little back this glacier, but this year, wow, this year it's gonna be
yeah,
yeah,
and
much worse.
also this was very early to have such heat. The having it in June. You said, I think, when we were talking a few minutes ago, that conditions in June were already like mostly what you would see in August.
Exactly, but from everything, not just from the glacier. Actually, the glacier now it's worse than beginning of September, end
Mm,
of August of last year. But also, I noticed this year, I noticed some kind of flowers like rhododendron that normally we have in July, also end of July, arnica that we have in July. We already had in June, and
mm,
was at a certain point I started thinking, wow, I feel like end of July, because some sort of flower were out so much hot that we normally have in July. It felt like June. I'm wondering now what is going to happen in July or August. What maybe I'm hope it's not gonna be warmer, because like yesterday night here in the village was at 6 o'clock was like 28 degrees, something like that. So this is something
mm.
um really unusual. Never feel this warm.
Yeah. Carlo also, Budel, he noted on.
Flowers on the top, right?
Oh, really? That I
Well,
didn't hear.
I saw this year, I saw in June some flowers,
Wow.
mm, that I never noticed actually at the top, you know. So it's, yeah. Sorry if I interrupted you.
No, 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 that's fine. But he was talking about the conditions. Let me just show you here. 1 second. He's worried now too that sometimes, especially on social media, people are right away pointing fingers. And he said
Yeah.
here, I thought
Yeah,
this
I
was
saw
pretty
this
powerful.
one.
Everybody's looking for a culprit. Some people are saying the guides should have done something, but he says, this was a new thing. This
Yeah,
phenomenon. He
yeah,
said, we're not looking for the guilty. An ice block broke off on the worst possible day, Sunday at 2 p.m., the worst time. Please don't blame, but say
yeah,
a prayer.
exactly,
So
exactly.
how much are you guides kind of talking to each other right now about what happens next?
Well, it happens that the municipality, both municipality on the border of the glacier, Rocca Pietro and Canazei, they close all the mountain actually. What I know, it's well, the glacier is closed, and they also talking about the West Ridge, which actually not could be also accessible without touching the glacier. If you come up from the other side, from Contrin Valley, and you come up from that side, you don't really touch the glacier, but looks like everything is closed now. Uh, I, I i imagine for all the summer, and so it's not, we don't have to talk so much about it, because this mountain is closed. We don't really have any other glacier on the on the Dolomites. I was talking today to a female mountain guide, Anna Toretta, from Val d'Aosta. She told me that on satellite, climbing in Mont Blanc, there are those peaks called satellites, close to the peaks of Grand Capucin, those granite peaks close to the on the glacier.
Hmm.
So she said that from the crack of the rock was water was coming out. So the water inside the rock was melting and pouring out water, and this is totally crazy. Make me really scary to think about, because if inside deeply the ice, the permafrost, it's melting, then I'm expected some more landslide and stone slide for this summer. Yeah.
Yeah. So
But you
people,
cannot, I mean, I bet that who can forecast? You cannot cross all the mountain, you cannot cross the mountains.
right?
So it's a glacier, it's a glacier. Maybe it's easier to predict, but for sure it's gonna be some stone slide somewhere. And how can you say that?
Yeah. This change, back in 1995, I wrote an article about the Swiss and French Alps for Condé Nast Traveler magazine. I went to Aletsch, the Aletsch Glacier, which was
Alex Glacier, yeah, yeah.
retreating very rapidly, even in the 90s. And there was a guy who runs a big resort there, Art Furter. Uh, he was already like 80 years old and still skiing and doing crazy things. And
Okay.
he saw this shift to summer tourism from winter tourism as being their future. And now it seems clear it's pretty dangerous to a certain extent. Maybe the summer climbing is more something to be concerned about going forward, or is it?
Yeah, yeah, it can be. It can be absolutely depend where. For sure on the glacier, it's gonna be really hard. I asked Anna how is the situation by them. It's really bad.
Mm,
I was in Sasfe 2 weeks ago, and we tried to climb. Actually, we climbed with the other three mountain guys from France. We climbed Alaline Horn, and the Alaline Horn is supposed to really quiet and easy and safe climb on the glacier.
mm,
But since we had to bring up like 80 women the day after, we said it's not safe at all. I mean, the all the bridges on the crevasses were so soft. I fell down to my waist in a crevasse once.
mm,
The other French guide fall. I mean, we were roped. So like also was tangled on this crevasse twice. So we just decided to change the goal. So the day after, instead of doing Alaline Horn, we climbed the Bright
mm,
Horn, which was okay, was good. But
yeah.
as I told you, Alaline Horn is known to be a really easy and safe climb. But now it's closed. Now it's closed. It's never, I think, never happened this, really.
Wow.
So all the glacier on the Alps are suffering a lot. I'm expecting, I'm expecting more glacier will be closed. I think I'm Normally, I work more here on Dolomites. I don't go so much on the glacier, but some of them, I bet they can be in difficult situation, difficult, dangerous situation.
Wow. Well, and where are you going today or tomorrow? It's already afternoon there at the end of the day, but are you
Yeah.
working this week?
Yeah, I'm just started today with today was just warm up to from tomorrow will be in a hike with three women, actually Americans women,
Mm.
had to add from Passo Sella to Passo Costalunga. So we call it the Rosengarten Traverse for on top mountaineering, and it's just a hike with via ferratas, just rock. So
Yeah.
hiking and doing via ferratas. So yeah, they were asking, the clients were asking today, we are not touching any glacier, right? Because they were concerned about it. No, 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 no glacier. The only glacier is there, and now it's
Yeah.
closed. So
So there's a
yeah,
future for climbing in the Alps and in the Dolomites for a long time to come. It's just
absolutely.
choosing routes and places can
Yeah.
preserve safety.
Absolutely. And a glacier in the summer now they are really suffering, but rock climbing it's safe. It's never safe 100% because mountains are not safe
No, no, of
100%.
course. But
Mountains fall down. Granite also, like 4 or 5 years ago in Valbodengo, also a big portion of a granite mountain came down. So, well, in Italy also bridges fall down. So,
we have lots of things here too in this
yeah,
state. Yeah,
driving is not safe at all
no,
also. So mountains can fall down, we can fall down. Yeah, it's rock climbing going on. This moment, the glacier, this summer, the glacier are in bad situation. Last year was completely different.
yeah,
Maybe, let's see, maybe next winter is no better, and the retirement it's gonna be retired, but maybe not so much as this year. It's gonna be better situation.
right.
We cannot say, not even the scientists can say.
No, and that's part of the. Somewhere I heard once that an adventure is a disaster that almost happened,
Yeah.
meaning part of what draws us to places that are the edge of the possible, that are
Yeah,
frontiers, that are
yeah, yeah,
difficult,
yeah, sure.
is that
There are
sense of
risks.
danger.
Yeah, 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 absolutely agree. There are risks that we know we are taking, and okay, sometimes, like in this case, those risks we don't know that we are taking those risks. Of course, otherwise people stay at home. But nature, mountains, nothing. It's predictable 100%. So this is what something really unpredictable. There is no guilty, there is no people or nothing that can be put in under process, because this was really unpredictable. It was not a Serac, it wasn't a Serac. On Marmolada there are not Serac anymore since 30 or 40 years. So
And the Serac is that specific formation that's more like a hanging.
yeah, it's simply when the eyes change, like the steep makes like this, make like big cracks and big towers, suspended towers, and
Right.
those they're like towers, like 20, 30, 10 meter high, but like towers. We didn't have any towers here. It was just a
Yeah.
knee of ice, and it came like this. It was torn like this, and it wow. I
Yeah.
don't think the big scientists in Trento, the museum, nobody. I don't think nobody could predict this. No,
No,
even with those water running with that worm, no, nobody expected this.
no, it's incredible. Well, thanks so
Yeah,
much for your time, and good luck in the seasons ahead. It's um, it's a changing world,
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
and that one of the things I've learned in writing about climate change so much is that we can't rely on the past now always as a guide to the future. So the future behavior of mountains.
Yeah.
As you say, there are new factors, early summers, the accumulating warmth. You just can't always assume that the past is a teacher. So
Yeah, exactly. I think that this unbelievable thing that happened gave us a big consciousness of what can happen anywhere on the glacier right now or this summer. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks again, Marika Favé, from the area just a few miles away from Marmolada, the mountain where there was this terrible
Yeah.
calamity when a big piece of ice fell, created an avalanche, and at least 6 people are perished. I think about 8 are still missing, including some
Well,
guides. So
yeah,
thank you
more
again.
than, yeah. Thank you to you. Was a pleasure. Thank you. Bye bye.
I appreciate it. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Take care.